Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the Republic of South Africa, President Jacob Zuma, represents and comes from a generation that effectively taught us, all of us as South African citizens, what it meant to be human. And that at all material times, we needed to fight and find better ways of defending our humanity, but also advancing our humanity and ensuring that at all material times we are human. He effectively comes from a generation that taught all of us as South Africans that the value of human life can only be defined on the basis of that which each one of us as individuals, but also collectively as a society, we do for our own existence. So it is on such basis, ladies and gentlemen, that it is our honor to invite the President of the Republic, President Jacob Zuma, to come and address us on this occasion. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You may be seated. The Minister of Police, Mr. Nathi Nhleko, National Commissioner, General Biecha, management and members of the police service, families of our fallen police officers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, fellow South Africans, we greet you all on this important occasion. I welcome in particular the families of our police officers who have lost their lives through callous attacks by criminals. We are happy that you could join this important occasion where we pay tribute to the men and women who risk their lives to make South Africa free of crime. September is known as Heritage Month and Tourism Month. What is less known is that it is also Police Safety Month. We want to use this month for each of us to promote better working relations between the police and the public. We also want to use September to highlight the plight against attacks on our police officers nationwide. The Constitution of the Republic outlines the duties of the police service as being to prevent, combat, and investigate crime to maintain public order, to protect and secure the inhabitants of the Republic and their property, and to uphold and enforce the law. This noble task is performed under difficult conditions. The violent history of our country has a result of apartheid, colonialism, has created a fertile ground for violent crime and a disregard for human life by some criminal elements in our society. We thus have to confront the hard reality that crime in South Africa is violent and that criminals in our country do not hesitate to take the life of another human being, whether he or she be a police officer or a civilian. A total of 58 police officers have been killed since January this year. 27 on duty and 31 off duty. A total of 63 officers were killed on duty between April 2014 and March 2015. Even the death of one police officer would be one too many and would be unacceptable. Criminals totally disregard all the values in the Constitution, including the right to life. Today, we pay tribute and register our respect to fallen police officers who undertake the important task of fighting crime and defending our hard-won democracy under taxing conditions. We acknowledge the pain that their loved ones have gone through. We wish to express our heartfelt condolences today directly to the families on behalf of all the people of our country. Your pain is our pain. Sizwelana nayo yonke imindeni elahlekelwe ngenxa yokubulawa kwamaphoyisa ezweni osekudlangile. Sithi ukulahlekelwa kwenu, ukulahlekelwa kwezwe lonke, ngoba lamalungu emindeni yenu esishiye kabuhlungu kanje abevikela umphakathi wonke. Kubuhlungu kithina njengohulumeni futhi kuyasithukuthelisa kakhulu impela ukubulala iphoyisa kukhombisa ukwedelela uhulumeni ngendlela eyisimanga. Kubonisa ukuthi kunabantu abangawuhloniphi umthetho futhi abangahloniphi nomthetho sekelo wezwe nelungelo lempilo ya wonke umuntu waseNingizimu Afrika. The callous murder of your loved ones was an attack not only on them, but on the state itself. The police present the authority of the state. They form the bulwark between order and anarchy. The police require the support of the state to ensure that they are strengthened and fortified to be able to respond to crime head-on, to protect not only themselves, but the nation as a whole. I've directed the Minister of Police to do everything possible to provide the police with the tools they need to fight crime effectively and to protect themselves. A national tactical response plan has been developed to immediately respond effectively to the murders of police officers. All commanders have been instructed to ensure that the plan is implemented with immediate effect. In addition to the plan, station and relief commanders have also been instructed to ensure that compliance with the directives and standing orders of the SAPS, especially those that have a direct influence on the safety and well-being of every member in the South African Police Service. Among some of the issues requiring urgent compliance are conducting of on and off-duty parades in terms of the SAPS Standing Order G 256, during which the following matters must receive attention: the inspection of members to ensure that they are properly equipped with the necessary safety gear and equipment, including the wearing of a bullet-resistant vest, briefing of police officers in respect of dangerous suspects or expected situations when reporting for duty, inspection of firearms to ensure that firearms are clean, in good working condition, and are well maintained. Sharing of national safety hints, guidelines, directives, or contingency planning to enhance awareness amongst operational members, and conducting of regular visits to operational members during the performance of their duties during their respective working shifts. Furthermore, all operational commanders are now asked with ensuring that routine monitoring and evaluation visits are conducted at police stations and units to ensure that police officers at all levels comply with the directives. The management of the SAPS has also instructed that multidisciplinary assessment teams be established at provinces and divisions to conduct on-site assessment of all incidents where police officers were killed. This will enable government to identify the modus operandi of the criminals, as well as the circumstances and conditions under which such police officers were killed. This will inform the further development and implementation of appropriate preventative or developmental measures. The SAPS is also hard at work to ensure that we elevate the safety of our officers while carrying out their constitutional mandate to protect and to serve by putting into place a national policy safety plan. The police safety strategy will prioritize the following: improving training of our members, physical security, trauma management and social support mechanisms, strengthening partnerships, police safety assessments, policies, guidelines, procedures, and research and information management. Most of the affected police officers were breadwinners and left dependents behind. Through the South African Police Service Education Trust, the children of fallen police officers should be able to complete their education. The trust has, from 2013 to date, invested almost 900,000 rand on 33 beneficiaries registered at universities of technology, as well as further education and vocational training colleges. There are also 4 beneficiaries who are still in high school. Compatriots, the fight against crime requires the participation of all South Africans. I would therefore like to take this opportunity to call upon all South Africans to work with the police to create safer communities. The public must contribute to the creation of a more conducive environment for police to fight crime decisively. This must be done by reporting all criminal activities to the police. The criminals who terrorize communities and who kill our police officers as well live in our communities and are known by many within communities. They must not be protected. They must be reported to the police so that they can face the full might of the law. Members of the public must also refrain from behavior that perpetuates crime. When people buy stolen goods, they create a market for criminals and put the lives of all in the country, including our police officers, in danger. Stop buying stolen goods, whether these are cars, television sets, or cell phones, and close the market for criminals. To the members of SAPS, as we observe Police Safety Month, remember that your safety as police officers remains our primary concern. It should be your concern too. We urge you to defend yourselves with everything at your disposal if you are attacked within the confines of the law. Our law or laws allow the police to fight back decisively when their lives or those of the public are threatened. Criminals must know that our police officers are not sitting ducks. They will fight back when their lives or those of the public are in danger. At the same time, the police must act within the law at all times and avoid using excessive force. The Minister of Police is working on a major transformation plan for the police following the tragic and painful Marikana incident, which will take all these challenges into account. Mr. Minister, National Commissioner, and top officers, I say the police must do this within the law. But it is absolutely important for all of us to know that criminals are not operating within the law. They operate outside the law. What then must a police officer do? I think that's a question the country will have to debate, as well as those who are making the law. I'm happy that there are parliamentary representatives here. When the police defend themselves in front of a serious danger, they are criticized severely. People who do not respect any law come and confront the police, and the police must respect the law. I think there is an imbalance that we need to talk about. I think the numbers of the police officers who have died within a short space of time calls for a serious debate within the country, within the framework of the law, within our democracy. There would be very few countries that so many officers are killed within a short space of time. It is clear that there is a great deal of disrespect of the law by the criminals. And as I'm saying, our police, we urge them to operate within the law. The debate must include, where do you draw the line? Where do you draw the line? Who draws the line for you? As a police officer, disciplined, operating within the law, and the criminal respects no law and is in front of you, what do you do? I believe that this matter of the police killings is no longer an academic question. It is a serious question that needs us to respond to it more realistically. How? That is the debate we need to have. It is just like a usual saying that I always make when you deal with legal people. They tell you that the law deals with cold facts. The law deals with cold facts. But what is not said, on the other hand, that the cold facts are dealing with warm bodies. Where do you draw the line? I think it is a serious matter. Once citizens disregard the law, the authority, that's anarchy. We need to find a way to deal with it. And among other things, Mr. Minister and the Commissioner, you might need to swell your numbers, because it is clear one lonely police walking in a criminal-infested environment is more in danger. Perhaps the routine checks must be done by a particular minimum of the number so that they can protect themselves. One police person could be distracted and be done many things. They want the guns from the police and everything. So I think the protection must include your numbers. That if there is a warning or a patrol in an area or areas that you know they are of a high risk, the numbers of the police to guarantee the protection must be reviewed. Absolutely important as you work out your strategy to fight crime. But also, the legal structures of government must coordinate better. I want to give a conversation a police officer had with me in Cape Town when I was still a deputy president. And I'd gone to an area infested with gangs and everything. And I was talking, pleading with the police to be vigilant, to arrest. And this police officer came to me and said, "Mr. Deputy President, can I say something to you?" And I said, "Yes, say it." And he says, "I'm a police officer. I love my job. I'm passionate about it. I want to clean criminals. But what do you do if you arrest a criminal and you put the criminal into prison, a dangerous criminal? The court releases the criminal on bail. A very seriously dangerous person is brought back to the community. Says, what do you do? He then said to me, let me tell you my own experience. I have arrested a criminal, dangerous, who have murdered people. I've arrested him 4 times. I'm now looking for him again for the 5th time. And he says the more he gets bail, is the more he commits crimes because he wants to get rid of the witnesses. And he says, as a policeman, I've done my work. What then must I do? I couldn't answer the question, and I realized the predicament of an officer. I think we do need to discuss the coordination of the legal structures and departments. How do you look at the crime as a police with a particular view? But the court, looking at the same criminal, looks at it on a different view. When the police arrests the criminal who undermines the rights of people, and the police is not looking at the right of a criminal, because the criminal has undermined the rights of others and therefore undermined his or her own right to be outside of prison. But the court, what the court looks first is the right of the suspected person to be given bail to go outside and be free. As a layman, I have no answer. But I think it's a matter that as a country we need to look at. We cannot say the crime is rife, but the manner of the process of dealing with criminals does not change when the criminals, in manner in which they deal with the society, has changed. We need to be realistic and talk about these matters. Those who don't know the law and facts and the procedures have a problem. They don't understand this, what they call imbalance. What then do we do as a country? I'm saying all of this because crime is no longer just affecting ordinary people. It's affecting the police, whose duty is to protect the citizens of the country and the country. The point I'm making is we cannot move forward like as if it's business as usual. It's not. Something else. We need to discuss this matter. We need to find a solution to fight crime a few days ago, I saw on a TV a man whose face was not shown, only his very tough hand and a knife. And he was saying, "This is my hope. If I do something to somebody and somebody tries to be cheeky, I use my knife." And it's a very strong knife. And I thought there is something wrong to all of us. For the fact that somebody is shown there and is actually confessing to be a criminal, a killer. But he has just to tell us, in other words, on words, he is terrorizing the society. Why is he given that opportunity? I think we need to debate the matter and look at the difference rights to all of us as we protect our citizens. Compatriots, we have amongst us today 1,000 students who are currently undergoing 2 years of police training at the Tshwane Academy of the SAPS. They will be placed at various police stations around the country to serve and protect all in our country. We invited them, as we always do, to this important occasion so that they can be inspired by the hard work of their predecessors in defending our democracy and making South Africa a safer place for all. We salute all our fallen police officers. We appreciate their commitment to the well-being and safety of the people of this country. We salute you as their families. Your loved ones have paid a supreme price for peace and stability of our country. Their contribution to building a safer South Africa will always be remembered by all your compatriots. Emndenini yonke sithi duduzekane. Akwehlanga lungehli. Silahlekelwe sonke ezweni ngokuhamba kwalamaqhawe. May their souls rest in eternal peace. I thank you.